listen to music. All right, let's see.
I really have no reason to be listening to music today because I have my AirPods in with a hat. I don't need to wear the earpiece. I mean, I really never need to wear the earpiece, but I like to wear it. But yeah.
Typing up the start 5 in here. Righty.
Okay. I just thought our chat was popping for a second. It's just the start.
I did too. I did too, and I posted it.
People in here. I was like, oh boy.
I typed it out and I got fooled. I almost put it the StreamYard message by accident. Oh man. Normal starting 5 today.
How funny it'd be if you just like left the StreamYard message up the whole time.
I just fucking pop it in right here. Hello, Jonathan.
There we go. We got a real message to put up there. My gosh.
Yes.
Would have been a heartbreaker.
Oh, all right. Big game. I'm excited.
It is a big game.
I'm ready for this game.
National TV, right in the middle of your Saturday night to ruin any plans you might have. They sure as hell better win.
Dave Dunk is here. Let's go.
It's good for the vibes.
Need it. I mean, we can talk about this after too. When are we recording next pod? Are we doing? You want to do after the game?
Today? No, not today.
You can't wake up. Okay. Tomorrow, I guess.
Tomorrow, I'm around all day. Well, we're supposed to do Monday.
Yeah, we're recording Monday too, anyways. Actually, but we could record tomorrow, anyways. Release Monday and then record Monday.
That's fine. I'm fine with that. I'm around tomorrow.
All right. Hello, everybody. Chat is popping. John,
everyone's
almost made a grown man cry. John, if you listen to our pod, we recorded after the game. We agree.
It made me upset at the very least.
I agree. I asked him recording because I have story, but it's brief enough where I can just tell it now. Quick.
Oh, I got stories too.
You can save yours for pod if you want.
I'll save them.
I went to look at apartments in Boston today, but I get to the place. I get a call and they said, "Hey, are you here? You know, I just saw your text." I said, "Yeah, I'm here." She's like, "Do you see me?" I'm like, "I don't see you." And I went through multiple agents because one wasn't free, one was free. And they listed the address wrong on apartments.com. So the apartment
so you're at the wrong place.
Yeah, the pictures they showed were from an apartment in Dorchester, and I was in the North End, and I don't want to live in Dorchester. So it was just it was very useless. We toured some other stuff. I went with my sister, so it was fine, but frustrating day in Boston. It was very cold.
They pulled the chair out on you. And
I was
cold.
pissed.
That's a lawsuit if I've ever seen it. It's you go out in the frigid temperatures. It was maybe snowing a bit. It snowed here.
It snowed here on the way home. Yeah. Not fun.
You want that. You could have slipped and fell.
We looked like the Heat on defense last night. Heat are a good defensive team, I think.
Lewis going to the game on our dime.
Woo,
with a little help from the fellas on the stream.
Yes.
You should get the help too. If you're looking to get yourself tickets to a Celtics game or other event, head over to SeatGeek. Use promo code HBTC to save $20 on your first purchase. Lewis did it. Look at him. He's at the game now. You could be like him.
Beast. Absolute beast, Lewis. Legend Dave Dunk. Yes, Judah. Nothing's wrong with Dorchester. That's just not where we were looking. We're looking in North End, Coolidge Corner, Brookline area, West End.
I almost wanted to break
Fenway.
your balls about that, but I decided not to.
No, nothing's wrong with Dorchester. It's just not at all where we've been looking for stuff. And so I was like, what I was just annoyed that I went to a different place, and that's not where we were looking. But
I would be
big game tonight. A lot of I don't want to say controversy. I saw a lot of people upset online after the last game. Not over the obvious. Obviously, I saw people upset the Celtics didn't play well, but a lot of people. No, Judah. No, I'm not.
Judah fire playing into the Jack is rich narrative.
A lot of people upset over DNP certain minutes stuff. I saw some people saying Pritchard and Muscala didn't play, being upset. I saw Grant only played 6 minutes. I pointed that out. So it's really a situation of people aren't going to be happy if the Celtics don't have enough depth, but if they do have enough depth, then people are still going to be upset about something. Word. Yeah, people are still going to be upset about something. You know what I'm saying? No one will ever be satisfied.
You know what the best is? This team's nasty. So if you expect Pritchard and Mike Muscala to play consistently every night, then you are hoping someone's hurt. Because that's typically what it's going to take, especially for Pritchard. I mean, that guard rotation is rock solid. All three of them have been playing pretty great basketball as of late. White, Brogdon coming off the bench in Indiana, both balling out, Smart in the starting lineup, holding his own. What else do you want out of those guys? Where do you see Pritchard getting minutes if you're the one typing it out? Who's getting upset about that? Are you upset that you're not watching Mac Jones play anymore? That would very much make sense to me. The Patriots fans, they just come in and vomit all over everything.
No, I agree. John saying if Pacers run small ball perfect center is Grant Williams. That's why I was a little confused. He didn't see more run in the Pacers game. I think it was an effect of Sam Hauser was a bit hot, so they ran him. I don't think they're gonna take down Tatum's and Brown's minutes at all. So, I mean, those guys played a ton. Like they've been pretty firm on not playing them any less than they are right now. Yeah, it was just weird. I don't know. We'll see what happens tonight. I assume Grant plays a little more tonight because of how well he defends Embiid. Or how much you need his help on Embiid.
You're going to need bodies.
And as our Lewis saying, you're going to need a win. I know, Sam, you're adamant the Celtics need to win tonight.
I think they need to win. I think this is an interesting spot. It's interesting because, one, Celtics are starting to lose their lead at the top of the league, which I don't like. Don't like that. All season, all you've heard about is how nasty they are, and they're only a half game up on Milwaukee. So what does that say? Also, Philly is one of those teams that people are trying to loop in with the top teams. Now, I'm not really sure if Philly is part of that group, but people are really trying to make it that they are. The numbers say since November 1st, they're real good or whatever. That's fine. But Celtics just beat them earlier this month with Jayson, Tatum, and the fellas out there. So this is a really big spot. Will we see if the Celtics have a mental edge over Philly, or are we going to see Philly with a big chip on their shoulder? Those are the two ways I think this goes.
I think both, honestly.
It might be
a
both.
Mix.
But I'm really curious to see if this is going to get to Philly at all, because I mean that's a bad loss. It's literally me, you, perhaps Tim, and maybe Lewis from the chat playing with Tatum, and Embiid didn't really do anything after the first quarter. Yeah,
yeah, it was rough. A lot of Pritchard talk in the chat. Pritchard isn't really that good. I think he's good. He's just not fun. Like he'd be a rotational player on almost any other team in the league. Judah saying people want to play PP out of favoritism. He's not going to secure wins. I think he would secure wins, but not as effectively as the other players in the team. Like he's just not as good as White, Smart, or Brogdon, and that's not
Absolutely
a knock on Pritchard, right? Like those are three starting caliber guards, and you just happen to have the luxury of bringing two off your bench. So that's my thing.
He feels a breaking case of emergency. You really can't get anything going on offense. Put him in there. Maybe he makes a couple threes, gets the crowd all excited, but that's it. Yeah, he's not really playing defense. At least he's not trying on defense. He just doesn't have the size to really.
He's just not as effective as other guys. Yeah.
When your guard rotation's nasty, you cannot excuse playing him.
Yep. Bucks on a 13-game win streak. They're hot. They're hot right now. Very frustrating if you're a
should have been
fan,
snapped, but the fellas kicked the game away in Milwaukee.
They're good.
So there's that.
All right. Jimmy J saying Bucks worry me, not scare me. I think they're the only team in the East that really. I don't think scare is the right word. I don't think the Celtics should be afraid, quote unquote, of anybody, but I think the Celtics pose the biggest threat to the Celtics in the Eastern Conference.
That's their biggest challengers, Milwaukee.
Absolutely. I'll go with that. Arlo saying White should guard Harden tonight. When he's in the game, maybe. I think Smart's a good matchup. I think Tatum. So I think the Celtics can put almost anybody on Harden outside of maybe Sam Hauser, and that's probably who Harden will attack if Sam Hauser gets in the game. You saw Smart talk about it earlier today, saying, yeah, of course you're going to target Sam Hauser when you have a lineup of him, Smart, Tatum, Brown, and Al Horford in there. Like he's the obvious one to target. But Sam holds his own. Give him his credit. He played 3 blocks last game. He's a good guy. Yeah.
I'll tell you this: a lot of potential for whiplash. These Sixers, Embiid, Harden, they throw the head back a lot. Surprised they're not suffering from some neck injuries. You're going to see a lot of free throws tonight. This game's going to take a long time. It is on national TV, ABC. Got to tell you, if you're anchoring the news tonight, good friend of me, Yanni, anchoring our local news, going to go on late night for Yanni. Tough. I really don't envy him today, but he'll be there real late on a Saturday.
Judah saying Celtics pose the biggest threat to the Bucks. Y'all sound silly. We were saying the Bucks pose the biggest threat to the Celtics. I don't know what you disagree with, but let me know in the chat. Jimmy J saying just playing Sixers close tonight would be okay. Expect Philly to take one game. I mean, obviously, I know Sam would like the Celtics to sweep the Sixers. The Sixers are good enough to take a game.
I want the Celtics to win every game.
Series. I know. Yes,
that's what I expect.
We're aware. Yeah, no, I think they could take a game. I don't know if that's tonight. And I talked about this in the last pod, Jimmy J. I think just going out there, putting up a good effort against the Sixers is what you need to do. That's my biggest thing. If you're playing a good team, obviously, I'm going to say the Celtics should win the game, but like putting up a good effort shows that you can hang with them. So that's the thing. Judy saying, I know, Judy, I need a little bit of explanation. I'm confused as to what
do you
disagree
with?
I'm open to talking about it, but I just don't understand what you're arguing.
Is he trying to say that Milwaukee's the favorite and the Celtics pose the biggest threat to them?
I'm saying Celtics pose the
yes.
Oh, I'm very confused. Confidence. Celtics pose the biggest threat. I also think that the Celtics pose the biggest threats to the Bucks. And that's just because I think they're the two best teams in the East. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying I don't think the Celtics can beat the Bucks. I absolutely think the Celtics can beat the Bucks. But if there was a team in the East that I would, be most concerned about, it will be the Bucks. Right? Like, I just think they're the best team in the East outside of the Celtics.
It's a tough matchup. Went 7 games last year. Giannis is maybe the best player on the planet. I think he is. Yep. There are definitely a bunch of players that you could make the argument for right now. It's like the changing of the guard is happening.
Yes.
Yes. So many talented guys in the league. It is a time to be a fan of the game.
John saying,
which I'm not.
John saying Judah smoking that good stuff. Judah saying that was yesterday, Jonathan. Make sure we're clarifying that in the chat. Ruben saying Al and Rob have to be present on both ends of the floor consistently. Be a presence. I think that'll be a big key tonight against Embiid. I think making him work on both sides is going to be huge. Embiid coming off big time performance against the Grizzlies last night or 2 nights ago. MVP caliber performance. I mean, Embiid's playing at another level this season. Luckily for the Celtics, opposed to Nick Wright's thoughts on the matter, the Celtics have 2 guys fully capable of guarding Embiid. Nick Wright the other day saying, I don't think the Celtics have anybody who can contend with Embiid, which I just think maybe the most foolish statement you could possibly make about the Celtics of all teams, who have Al Horford, Grant Williams, and Robert Williams. Doesn't really make a bunch of sense to me, but that's not saying Embiid's not a good player, but if you're going to look at a team that's equipped to guard him, probably point.
It's a very calculated statement. He got everybody to talk about it, which is what he wanted.
Beast. He's good at his job. He is good at his job. Jimmy J saying Giannis blew out Miami without Giannis. I assume this is meaning to say the Bucks blew out Miami without.
Yeah, the comment below.
Yes. The Bucks blew out Miami without Giannis. The Bucks are a good team. Bucks are a very deep team.
Yep.
Drew Holiday obviously can get hot, and even when he's not, Steph Curry against the Celtics, he's a phenomenal point guard. And now I have a lot of respect for Drew Holiday. Brooke Lopez is Defensive Player of the Year candidate this year. He's playing great. Bobby Portis, when he's healthy, he's obviously a great bench piece. They got Joe Ingles this year. They got Jay Crowder, who's suiting up for him now. Pat Connaughton, and they're a deep team. They're probably the second deepest team in the East behind the Celtics. And that's not a slight to the Bucks. That's just because the Celtics are ridiculously deep.
The Celtics probably have 2 playoff starting fives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, do you think so? I don't think they have 2 playoff starting fives.
It might. I don't know. Well, I consider playoffs whoever gets out of the play-in. I don't really count that. I
know. That's what I'm saying. So, okay. So we'd be talking Malcolm Brogdon, Derek White, Sam Hauser, Grant Williams, Luke Cornett. I don't think that's a playoff team. They're a deep team, but I don't think
it's not a good playoff team.
It's not a playoff team.
Let's see. All right.
That's not a playoff team.
Better or worse than let's see.
That group that I just said?
Better or worse than the Pacers?
Worse.
You think so? Yeah. Better or worse than Orlando?
Better.
Better or worse than Atlanta?
Better. Worse.
Worse than Atlanta? You think so? I don't think so.
Sam, Atlanta has an all-star caliber point guard, 2 all-star caliber guards.
What's their record?
Didn't make it this year.
How good are they?
Sam, we're talking about it, and I love Luke Cornett. Chat knows I love Luke Cornett. Luke Cornett and Sam Hauser as your starting, they're not starters. They're just not. They
can play a role.
This is not an argument. This is obscene.
They might be better than Atlanta. They might win more games than Atlanta.
No. This is the most green teamer thing you've ever said in your life.
No, it's not.
This is it. This
better
is
or worse than Washington.
You're ridiculous. Worse. You're on crack.
Worse than Washington. Washington's terrible.
Yes. No, you're ridiculous. I'm baffled that this is a conversation. Malcolm Brogdon, Derek White, Sam Hauser, Grant Williams, Luke Cornett is better than the Wizards.
You say it all the time. Grant Williams could be a starter on a playoff.
You're on crack.
Brogdon and White are both excellent players. Are you kidding me? That's not that outrageous of a thing to say. It might be wrong, ridiculous. But your reaction is over the top to this. This is not
absolutely
that crazy.
Not. They are not better than the Hawks. They are not better than the Wizards. They are maybe on par with the Magic. Maybe. No, they're not. They're not better than the Magic. You're on crack. You're ridiculous. You're absurd.
That is not the worst team in the Eastern Conference. No, it's not.
Sam, we saw a team led by Malcolm Brogdon for years, and it was a Pacers team that struggled to make the playoffs with another All-Star on the roster.
The fellas almost beat Milwaukee last week. They literally almost beat them with that team.
That's one game. You're talking about a whole season. You're absurd.
I'm not saying they're going to win a title. I'm saying they might be better than a Chicago or a Washington or Atlanta.
That starting five would win maybe 25 games, 30 games.
I don't know. I'm not convinced.
That's ridiculous.
This is not as if I was saying they're going to win a playoff series, it might be a little ridiculous. I'm not convinced that this is as ridiculous as
it's not close to a playoff team. That's not a play-in team. That's not a play-in.
They're better than Washington, better than Atlanta, better than Orlando. Orlando has talent for years, but this year, no. Chicago sucks. I mean,
they're not better than Chicago either.
Oh, yes, you are.
That starting five is better than the Bulls.
Yes.
This is the worst. I mean this with whole heart. This is the worst take you've ever said.
This is not that outrageous of a thing
to
say.
This is absolutely absurd. That is ridiculous. Malcolm Brogdon and Derek White is a fine backcourt, right? But Luke Cornett, Sam Hauser, Grant Williams is a fine, player. He can be a starter in the right.
You're getting a lot of space with that lineup. Those are Cornett does not stretch the floor. They don't use him that way.
Bergen's so right that this is a meaningless combo, but I'm just so baffled
combo.
that this is even a thing. Yeah, and VJ's totally right here. Like, it clears. It's not even close. Are you kidding?
They can't be that good. That team's not cracking the play-in.
They're not cracking the play-in, and you're talking about a team of bench players, good bench players, but this is.
If you take Brogdon and White off the Celtics and place them on 90% of the teams in the NBA, they start.
That doesn't mean they're better. You're comparing like two players to an entire starting lineup. You're forgetting that there is Sam Hauser and Luke Cornett involved in this starting lineup you're going to roll out in a playoff team. You're ridiculous.
They're like an 8 seed. They're not like good.
They are not even close to an 8 seed.
I don't think this is that crazy of a thing to say. These teams really aren't that good.
I genuinely think this is the most homer thing you've ever said on the podcast.
It could be, but I don't think it's that crazy.
You're taking
I think your reaction's over the top.
You're taking Malcolm Brogdon, Derek White, Sam Hauser, Grant Williams, Luke Cornett over Monte Morris, Bradley Beal, Denny Avdija, Kristaps Porzingis, Daniel Gafford.
Yeah.
You need to watch some games. You need to watch basketball.
That could be a very fair point. Listen, who's taking Wizards beat the Bucks this year? They compete with the Bucks, take the Bucks to overtime? I don't think so.
You're talking about one game. Yes,
that's your sample size. That's all you have.
But you can't use that and put it over an entire 82-game season. That's just stupid.
Listen, I mean, they basically beat Philly by themselves.
I agree, Perkin. I agree that they're a deep team, but Sam is saying the Celtics 5 through 10 is a playoff team, and that's just that he's saying it's better than the Bulls, Wizards, Hawks, like teams that are competing actively for the playoffs, and I just can't. So let's get back to reality, as William is saying. Celtics have a big game ahead of them tonight.
This is almost worse than the time we talked about Sabonis ahead of the Lakers game.
I'm so flustered. I can't even believe that this is the thing. So yes, Celtics tonight. Sorry, I'm waiting for chat to catch up because I'm caught off guard here. Let's see. Catching up on the chat's just reacting to us.
It's
screaming. Fine. William asking, will Tobias Harris get 20 points tonight? Tobias Harris
sure hope
having a really good season. Shout out to Tobias Harris. He's having a really good year. He's accepted the role behind him. Will Blake Griffin break Doc Rivers again? I think is an interesting question because last time they played each other, that was I
gotta tell you, I hope Blake Griffin doesn't get out there. Because if Blake Griffin doesn't get on the floor, that means one, nobody's in foul trouble and things are going well.
Mm-hmm.
Two things that are very important to me today.
You'd hope so. Landon, yes, just rewind it. I don't even want to get back into it. You can rewind and make your opinion for yourself. R. Lewis saying, is anyone worried about Rob Williams' health? Doesn't seem the same. I think he's fine. I don't know. I
he doesn't look like he wants to dunk the ball very much. Robert Williams loves a pass out of an open dunk.
I think that's been a problem since last year, though. I don't think that's a new thing. I think he's always just been super hesitant, and that I agree that it's a problem. In Paris, yes, Smart is playing tonight. No one's out for the Celtics except for Gallinari. He's been out the whole year. But yeah, I I think Rob just needs to be a little bit more aggressive around the rim. I think there are definitely some differences, but I also think the Celtics have just a different play style this year than they had last year. And it's not like the defense isn't good. Top 4 in the league now, top 5
Yep.
in the league now.
That's
Like they
very
brought it back in a
important.
big way. So
I will say
it's been
this:
huge.
big fan of ball movement. Offense is fine. No winning offense involves passing up open dunks when you're Rob and you can touch the top of the backboard. Dunk the ball.
Yeah.
If you haven't
No, I
dunked the
agree.
ball, you're going to give me
I
a
agree.
stroke, and I might lose more brain cells than some of the chat and Jack think I already have lost. But listen, you just can't have that. What are you passing up open dunks for? If I see them give up a great shot around the rim for a 3 again, it's going to break me.
No, I agree. That
I'm going to come back to
frustrating
you a
see.
broken man, or whatever you would like to describe me as. Boy, man,
And
high schooler.
I understand if there's somebody behind him in the post, I'd rather him pass out for an open 3 than like a post move on someone, obviously, because that's not his game. But like if you can get in there and you have a shot at the rim, I think Rob needs to start taking those. That's important. BJ saying it will be interesting to see minute distribution with everyone healthy-ish, see them going big more versus 76ers and Pacers. Grant over under 15 minutes. I think if I had to guess over, I thought it was a little bit weird. He didn't get that much against the Pacers. But with Embiid out there, I think you see Grant in there to body him a little bit. I think this could be a big Grant game. I mean, you saw him play super well against Philly last time, guarded Embiid well. He guarded Giannis well in the Bucks game where Boston was shorthanded. I don't know. It's going to be weird to see how Joe Mazzulla handles the rotation down the stretch here, but I think Grant has a chance to do some important stuff against the Sixers.
Well, they definitely need him more for his defense tonight.
Yeah.
Indiana doesn't have a lot of great front court players to where you need Grant out there to cover them. A lot of shooting, a lot of Halliburton creating for other guys. Philly, they've gotten beat, of course. Harris is a good secondary scoring option. You're going to see the need for a bigger body out there, and it might limit Sam Hauser unless he comes out and shoots the lights out in his first stint. Look for Grant to get some time tonight. Hopefully he knocks down some threes and really only does that. Don't need him doing a whole lot more on the offensive end.
Yeah. Yes. Smart had a bunch of hockey assists last game. I agree. Rob is playing smart and conservatives. He's waiting for the PO to unleash. I'm
not convinced passing out of open dunks is smart.
Yeah, no, I think he needs to be a bit more aggressive. Tobias had his 20-point game month's last game. I think that Tobias Harris hate's gotten a little bad. This is just a random tangent. I think there's a big difference between overpaid and bad, right? Like I think you just see overpaid player and like you associate them with bad. I don't think Tobias Harris is a bad player. He's absolutely overpaid. And I think you can he's definitely bad relative to expectations for the contract, but he's still a really good player. Like he's having a good season. What's he putting up this year? He's putting up 15, 6, and 2.5 on 50% shooting from the field, 38 from 3. Like he's having a good year. He's just like grossly overpaid, and so no one's ever going to be able to appreciate what he does on the court because of how much money he makes. And I mean, it's not Toby's fault. He's ecstatic that he's getting that much money. But yeah,
you want to get some money? Tell you what, Smash the Odds presenting the pregame pick tonight. You can follow them on Twitter at Smash Odds. They are giving out daily free picks, mostly college basketball right now. The season is in full swing. Tonight's pick for this game, Sixers money line. On top of that, we want to remind you have a gambling problem, 1-800-522-4700. If you're betting against the Celtics, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. You know what? My pick, Celtics money line. It's even odds tonight. So I'm going against them. We're going to see. I can't condone this. None of these picks are saying go bet them. All right. So you see the Sixers on your screen. Doesn't mean go put your money on it. Bonus pick Derek White over 16 and
Smash
a half
odds
points.
Pick Sixers money line.
Yes.
That's rad.
That's what I said.
It's a rad move. Is this?
He said 2 units. Yeah. He said 2 units. Well, that's why I put the number on the screen just in case.
Good.
Because listen, you don't have to take these picks. Is there? Now you may want his other picks. This one, maybe not.
Yeah, that's a rap move from Devin there.
I'm getting messages of people saying this might not be a good pick. I'm not saying that, but some people say.
Hey, it happens. I mean, I might have to agree with you.
Internet.
Over 1.5 threes for Derek White would be something that I enjoy. I think that could be a good thing. Over 2.5 threes for JB or JT. I think both of those are pretty good. Usually see Jayson Tatum have a bounce back game after he struggles from the field. He did not shoot very well against the Pacers, so maybe expect him to have another bounce back there. Rebounds, I think, will be important. Jayson Tatum's been killing the glass. Over 8.5 rebounds plus money for you on DraftKings. I'll take that. Over 6.5 for JB. I'll take that as well. Both of them have been getting double digits like it's nothing for them. So I'll go with those two there. Dave Dunk, shout out in the chat again. Is Jimmy J saying, ouch, that Toby contract? Yeah, it's bad.
A lot of money.
Bad. Good player, bad contract. Philly's fault, not Toby's.
No.
But Tobias Harris is not a good player. Grant Williams is a better player. Yeah,
Jack approves of that.
Jack does not approve. I don't think Grant Williams is better than Tobias Harris. I think Tobias Harris obviously is going to get crapped on a little bit more for his money. I don't think I would still. It's tough because Grant Williams plays better defense. They're close, but I would probably give the edge to Toby. Tobias Harris was almost an all-star like 2 years ago, right? And he's obviously taking it back.
When he was on the Clippers, he was really good. When they got him, when they landed him, and then they paid him, it was because he was coming off a heater. And that was under Doc, by the way. So there you go.
He's a good player. He just makes too much money. Birkin saying Jayson needs to show up tonight. I agree. He needs to bounce that game. Played very bad against the Pacers. Needs to come back, combat that.
Very bad is 30-plus points, but it is true.
It's crazy.
It is true. Box score will lie to you. Eye test says no good.
Jayson Tatum has become great at turning inefficient nights into box score gems, which is fine, right? They won the game.
They really didn't want to win that game.
They struggled.
Somebody showed them all a highlight tape of Wembanyama, and they said, "Oh man, we need to get him on our team." Like it was like in the fourth quarter, in one of the final timeouts, somebody was watching highlights.
I back Matt here. Like I said, D White over on threes 1.5. I think that's money right there. So is Ben Simmons. What are we talking about here? What is so is Ben Simmons? Too much money
coming off a heater when he got paid, maybe.
Oh, potentially.
Sixers handing out contracts. Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, Horford when they paid him.
Not Jimmy Butler, though. They don't pay Jimmy Butler.
They didn't pay Jimmy Butler.
I think that's a little bit overblown. I think he just wanted to go to Miami, but I also think Philly could have and should have done more to keep him. You know what I'm saying?
It's just weird. You think they would have they essentially chose Harris over him.
Yeah, that Jimmy. You remember when Jimmy went into the locker room and started going, Tobias Harris over me?
Yeah.
Beast. I love Jimmy Butler. I know he almost knocked the Celtics out of the playoffs last year. I love Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, but he's likable. He's not like a scumbag rat like maybe Harden.
Sure.
Or LeBron.
Hey, you said you respected Harden this summer, though. Took a pay cut for the squad.
No, I do respect that. That is a respectable move.
And now he might be outie back to Houston.
One of the most odd stories you'll ever see. And I saw some Fuel the Fire today. Did you see it? People saying Harden still spends his summers in Houston,
I did see this.
Works out at the facility, and visits often. So that is the where there's smoke, there's fire. That's the fire that these reports are coming off of.
I think
that's all valid stuff. I don't care. Get him out of the East. Awesome. I agree.
This is a fun game.
Can we list all the Bus Sixers picked in the draft? Sorry. Fultz, Simmons.
Wait, hold on.
They passed on Mikal Bridges and took Zaire Smith. Leave Evan Turner out of this. He's a good guy.
Here, I'll go.
Who else?
I'll go down the line for you.
Dario Saric.
I'm only going to include lottery picks because anything outside of that, I think is pretty hit or miss. As Sam freezes once again.
Yeah, I'm really asking a lot, aren't I?
You're struggling today. I'm only going to list lottery picks. Drafted Mikal Bridges and traded him away. Markelle Fultz, first overall. Ben Simmons, first overall. Jahlil Okafor at 3 in 2015. Got Embiid. They hit on that, obviously, 2014. Michael Carter-Williams, 11th overall. Mo Harkless, 15th overall, but they traded him. Vucevic in 2011, but they traded him. After that, Evan Turner at pick 2 is fine. Drew Holiday. We're getting back into the depths of hell now, but not the process got them Embiid, it got them Simmons, but not exactly working out. They got Harden though. Harden cried his way to Philly, so I guess the Sixers can be happy about that.
Is Harden at fault there? That's a funny one because the Nets were a dumpster fire. We all know Kyrie's a rat, and he essentially said he was sick of dealing with Kyrie.
It's fair. I mean, fair enough.
I don't blame him.
There you go. My favorite thing to say about the process, like Burke's saying, they just rushed the process instead of trusting it, right? Like, I'm not convinced that, the Butler trade was fine, but, in hindsight,
what did they give up for Butler? I don't even remember.
Nothing. Rob Covington, Dario Saric, and picks, right? Not the end of the world.
Fine
for Butler. But for 1 year of Butler, in hindsight, not worth, right? You rushed it. You rushed it by
that's their fault for not paying him or keeping
I
him.
agree. They rushed it by trading for Butler. They rushed it by adding Tobias Harris and then paying Tobias Harris. They rushed it by like adding all these veterans instead of just continuing to develop young talent and then going after a star when the time was right. I just think they were like 2 years too early on the process, right? Like, let's say they still were going through the process right now. They could have made a couple, decent playoff runs with Embiid and Simmons still. Like, they would have been fine. It's not, they wouldn't have done any worse than they did right now, right? So I don't know. I think that, and let's say they had all of their picks and all their money and a bunch of assets right now to trade. I think
they could have drafted Brandon Ingram. They could have drafted Jayson Tatum, and then they traded Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, tough. Very tough. Imagine Embiid, Ingram, Tatum, and Bridges. Nasty.
You probably could still have Simmons on that team, and it would work.
Yeah. Sixers spent 3 firsts on Harris in that monstrous contract. Low key top 5 worst trade signing past 5 years. It's bad. Like I said, they rushed it. They just rushed it. William is correct. Sam's actually even excited for the playoffs.
I am excited. I'm gonna watch other basketball this spring.
Crazy.
But you didn't hear any.
Oh, you
did
when
hear
I see
that.
It. What?
Yes, I'm actually going through right now. I'm not disconnected.
Oh, yes. Welcome. Hello.
My prayers have been answered.
Not saying D White shot 8 of 13 last Sixers game, 3-5 from 3, 19 points. Could have another heater. I mean, the Celtics have a deep team. I think anybody could really pop off tonight. But all right, we can wrap it up there. We will have to wait the extra X amount of minutes until the game, which I'm sure Sam is thrilled about. But
I'm furious.
Yes.
I'm supposed to go out after this game. I'm just sitting here. They're going to shoot a million free throws. What?
You know who's on the call?
What do you mean who's on the call? Oh, I'd imagine it's Breen.
Let's take a look here.
They like these Saturday games.
What if they just rented Brian Anderson for your game?
It'd be terrible. It's terrible that you play 2K and like you got to listen to him there. Like you can't escape him. Like even in a world that's not real. Yeah.
Oh wow. Outside. Well, I mean, you can't go wrong with Mike Breen. But when you got Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson by his side,
that's the
not
A-team.
Exactly. Van Gundy and Mark Jackson.
They have good chemistry. Mark Jackson, I don't really care for. Van Gundy's fine.
Right. I like Stan better than Jeff. Maybe I'm crazy. I know a lot of people don't
see like Stan's fine, but he comes with Brian Anderson, so that's where the problems start to roll in.
Brian Anderson's TNT, Mike Breen's ESPN, right?
Yes, Breen's.
Well, they might be working for NBC or Amazon soon because buying the rights away. Goodbye to TNT and
Is
ESPN.
It confirmed?
No, just speculation still, but like they're looking. People are looking.
Well, if you want me to watch Amazon, I'll pay like $5 a month if you don't hire Brian Anderson.
Is Gorman okay? Been a while. I just don't think he's on the road.
It's been the All-Star break, and he's not going on the road.
Yeah. It's fine. All right. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. We appreciate it. Who did Philly add to the roster? PJ Tucker this year. Jaden McDaniels.
Did they trade for anybody?
McDaniels.
Yeah, they got rid of
McDaniels at the deadline. Maxey off the bench. D'Anthony Melton is new this year as well. He's been having a really good season. Watch out for him. He's starting, but good
shooter.
They should do Stan and Jeff together. Hell. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like on the stream. We would appreciate it. Go sub to the YouTube channel as well. How about them Celtics? Dropped a new pod yesterday.
Yesterday's been doing well. Recent pod has been doing really well. So thank you.
Keep out the
watching them. If you're in here and you're new, see a few names I don't recognize, subscribe. Definitely do that.
Make sure to subscribe. We appreciate it. We're almost at 300 subs. Help us get to 300 subs. And then we'll get to 1,000, but that's the slow grind. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. You can check us out on Heavy on Celtics, 30 minutes for every game. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. How about them Celtics? How about them C's? Give us a rating, 5-star rating on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Say we're handsome, even though you can't see us.
Give us a nice rating on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, 5 stars. How about them Celtics? And most importantly, like I said, subscribe, leave a like on the YouTube channel. How about them Celtics? Thank you guys for tuning in. We are here 30 minutes before every Celtics game. We're recording a very special podcast this Monday that will drop the 1st of March. We might have another show before then, I think, but maybe we'll combine them for the 1st of March. Maybe we'll figure it out. We'll have something for you guys coming up. But thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys before the next game. Peace out.